like the sound of a symphony to my ears, like holy water on my skin.
Well, good evening. So glad you could join me this evening for C3. We're excited to be logged on with you. I want to encourage you, if you are on Facebook, to log on and you can share your thoughts with me tonight. Tonight we're going to do something a little bit different than we've done in the past. We're going to have a devotion, but I want to celebrate some stuff because this weekend we're finishing up our series called The Power of Practice, and we're talking about the practice of celebration. And there is so much to celebrate and so much that has been going on in the life of our church. And I think sometimes we don't even realize what's going on. I mean, I'm the pastor, and sometimes I don't realize all the wonderful things that is going on at our church because we have so many people doing so many different things. So I wanted to just be able to share some of that with you tonight and share how exciting it is to be part of this church. So if you're watching on our website and want to be interactive, jump over to Facebook. If you're already on Facebook, let me know that you're watching. I got my computer up, as you can see, and I'm going to be kind of trying to go back and forth. So if there's a little pause, that's because I'm kind of looking at the comments and whatnot as well. So Linda Carter, shout out to you. I see you already logged on. So if anyone else is watching, please send me, let me know you're on as well. But I want to start with our devotion. It's from John chapter 1, verses 19 to 23. Now this was John's testimony when the Jewish leaders in Jerusalem sent priests and Levites to ask him who he was. He did not fail to confess, but he confessed freely, I am not the Messiah. They asked him then, who are you? Are you Elijah? He said, I am not. Are you a prophet? He answered, no. Finally they said, who are you? Give us an answer to take back to those that sent us. What do you say about yourself? John replied in the words of Isaiah the prophet, I am the voice of the one calling in the wilderness, make straight the way for the Lord. So the devotion says this, John the Baptist clearly knows who he is and who he is not. The clarity he has about his identity and his role positions him to bear a powerful witness to Jesus and his kingdom. When John the Baptist states 3 times that he is not the Messiah, it does not mean he thinks he is a nobody. He honestly believes and so publicly affirms that he is not the one called a voice. That he is the one called a voice, predicted by Isaiah to prepare the way of the Lord. Biblical scholar Frederick Dale Bruner writes, it is almost as if he is saying, I don't know many things about myself and my calling, but I do know one thing. I was sent into history to bring people to a place where they would willingly be immersed in water to show their true repentance. Just as John the Baptist was clear, it is critically important that we assess and affirm the I am and the I am not of our own identity. This provides us with a healthy, clearly defined understanding of our gifts and limits. Consider author Frederick Bruckner's contribution to this discernment process of gaining greater clarity about ourselves over time. There are all different kinds of voices calling you to all different kinds of work, and the problem is to find out which is the voice of God rather than of society. By and large, a good rule for finding this out is the kind of work God usually calls you to is the kind of work you most need to do and that the world most needs to have done. The place God calls you to is the place your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. Then, as a result of hearing God's voice more clearly, we can move into the world more faithfully to bear witness to Jesus and his kingdom. Now, I share that devotion to tell you that one of the best ways to do that is through the church. And you all are part of a church that is doing unbelievable things, and you may not even realize it, because I know there's so much going on that we don't even realize. So I just wanted to take some time to share some of the stuff that's happening in the life of the church so we could celebrate that. And as you hear it, you might be able to get plugged in. A lot of people are posting how good dinner was. The haluski and the kibasi were good, they say. I have some sitting in my car that I'm going to eat when we're done with C3. So I'm looking forward to that too, so you can all stop talking about food because it's making me get hungry. But that's one of the things that we can celebrate. I know Susan Connors, who oversees our kitchen ministry, shared some wonderful stuff going on there. Not only are we serving dinners on Wednesday nights, and we're getting about 100 folks that are coming and picking up dinner and taking it home to their family, that gives 6 to 8 people an opportunity to plug in and use their gifts for hospitality, which is awesome. the cookie bakers are back, and they're baking cookies and different things that we send out as part of the dessert for dinner that we use with the youth ministry. The youth had a spaghetti dinner last week, and there were over 120 people that got dinners for the youth spaghetti dinner, which was awesome. A great way to support our youth and what they're doing. We actually were able to donate over 200 pieces of fish. You may remember, it seems like forever ago, but our fish fries, which are hugely popular, stopped right in the middle because of COVID. Well, we were able to donate that fish to Daily Bread and serve fish to over 200 people in Daily Bread, which is a blessing. And we're excited to be able to minister that way. And our roundtable, which is what we call our food ministry, the volunteers here at the church help Gina Mar with the Daily Bread serving, not just with the fish, but with other things that were going on as well down at Daily Bread. So there's lots of ways to get plugged in with the food ministry. We do a first responder meal. We do a meal at Thanksgiving for 8th Avenue to help the people that are in need in 8th Avenue Place. It's a blessing to be part of a church that has such an active kitchen. And the kitchen isn't just for us, but the kitchen is able to help give us an opportunity to serve others. So there's a great way for you all to get involved. Now, a lot of you already know that there's some wonderful things going on in children's ministry. Throughout the fall, Miss Janet has been doing Zoom Sundays. They've been doing kids groups that meet in person on Wednesday afternoons. That just kind of started in October. Janet and Heather and Kelly have all been part of what we call the Hub, which is an opportunity for kids to come and do their schoolwork online during the day if their parents work, and that's been great. We did a back-to-school blessing at the end of August, which was awesome. Janet's been doing home visits, which aren't really home visits. She's not going inside the house. They're more like front yard and porch visits, but to just drop in and say hello to the kids from a distance. There's our Christ Kids website. So you can go to christumc.net/ChristKids, and you can see all the unbelievable stuff going on and all the resources that are available to parents for crafts and games and science experiments and sermon notes and all kinds of great stuff. And the kids ministry is doing some unbelievable stuff. I've heard that, this weekend there's trunk or treat. I'm not sure about the sign up for that. You can go to the website and see if the sign up is still open for that. But I know we have over 30 people opening their trunks in the parking lot to serve candy. And last I had heard, we were up to like 120 or so trunk or treaters. But we may even be higher than that now. It's a great opportunity to get involved in the life of our church that way. We do a Journey to Bethlehem in December that's for our preschool, so both of them and their parents learn about the story of Christmas, which is exciting. This year we have a living nativity that's going to be taking place December the 6th. So we want to invite all of you to come and be part of that, to get involved with that, to do volunteer there. It's a great outreach to the community, and we're going to be doing some cool things with that this year via video work that we're going to be able to share on Christmas Eve, because we got all kinds of exciting things happening for Christmas Eve. Janet's got a cool thing happening the Sunday before Christmas with the kids on her Sunday morning Zoom call. So there's all kinds of stuff. If you got kids to get plugged into, even though we're not meeting in person, there's still a ton of stuff going on for the kids in our church. It's hard to realize that all this is still happening in the midst of a pandemic. And then the youth have been meeting throughout this entire time. They have decided they needed to split into two groups. So now there's a middle school group and a high school group, because there's enough of them that they can't all be together and practice social distancing. So they've switched their times. They've been talking a lot about friendship and how that works and how to spend time with others. They're going to continue the journey to learn how to use their gifts and grow into who God wants them to become. As I mentioned earlier, they had their spaghetti dinner. There's some other fundraising opportunities that are going on to help our youth get involved as they do mission work and those kinds of things. We had several of our youth go to Christ in the Community Day, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but they were there helping and volunteering for that. We got a youth praise band that's been working and practicing and been going well that way. It's exciting to see what's going on in the youth ministry of our church as well, and we wanted to share that. And then the one thing that everybody asks about is what's going on with missions in our church. Like we know that worship is going on, the C3 stuff is happening, so this is a way for us to keep people up to date with exciting things going on in the life of the church. If The nice thing about this is you can watch it live or you can watch it at any point in time. So I want to encourage you to tell your friends to check this out because it gives them a little bit about what's going on in the life of the church. But missions has been extremely active. There's a lot going on. I mentioned the Christ in the Community. Christ in the Community Day, we went and helped down on the north side, Northview Heights for Bethany House. We had a great group of people that went down to help clean that up so they can continue to do the ministry that they need to do on the north side. We're working with Larry Hamitsky, who we interviewed a couple of months ago as part of C3. We're resuming our food collection with Shim. Now, for those of you that have been around the church, you know what Shim is. You get your brown bag, you fill it up, you bring it back. We're not doing it that way anymore because of the pandemic, but you can go to the website, and this is the week to do it because we're collecting between October 25th and November 1st, and you can bring your food to door number 2, but you can go to christumc.net/missions. And on that page, you can see what to buy. It's stuff for Thanksgiving, some cleaning supplies, those kinds of stuff. And you can buy those and just bring those to door number 2. That's the side of the Olive Garden of our church. You can pull right under the overhang, bring your stuff in there, and it'll be a great way to help minister to the people that are in need. Angel Tree this year is going to be different. The running joke at Christ Church is as soon as Trunk or Treat ends, the Christmas trees go up for Angel Tree. And so many of you purchase angels, pick angels and purchase the gift that's on the angel, and then you bring it to what we used to call white gifts. Well, all that's changing this year in the midst of the pandemic. Now, Angel Tree is going to be virtual. So you won't actually pull an angel off the tree, but you'll be able to see where you can go and see what's needed. You can actually purchase that stuff and have it shipped directly to the church. We're not going to ask you to wrap it up in white paper. The less we handle things, the better during the pandemic. But there's going to be so many people that you can help through the Angel Tree ministry. So you can either click on the QR code and go right to the list that is needed, or you can go to the website and see what's needed and do it that way. I know a lot of people use Amazon. My family is one of those groups of people. So we can just purchase whatever is needed on Amazon and drop ship it right to the church. So we never even have to touch it, and it helps so many people. And the really cool thing about it going virtual this year is we have a lot of folks that have plugged into our online worship from all over the country, even from other countries, and like Canada and other places. And these folks can participate in Angel Tree virtually. They can click on Amazon and have stuff sent and feel like they're part of the ministry of the church, even though they're not even in our state. It's one of the pluses that have come from the pandemic. There haven't been a lot of them, but there has been some of them, and one of them is exactly that. We can reach people from all over the country. So that's another way for people to get involved through Angel Tree. We have all kinds of other things that we always do in missions. We do the eyeglasses and hearing aids that we collect. We collect paper back books and magazines for the Allegheny County Jail, ink cartridges, foster care adoption backpacks between November 16th and December 16th. So there's all kinds of things that you can participate in from a missions perspective. Again, we'll have our Thanksgiving offering and Christmas offering, and those will go to help different ministries in the life of the church. But I wanted to just share some of the faith and finance highlights when it comes to missions. And this is just the generosity of our congregation over the course of the last quarter. So over the course of the last quarter, we gave over $5,000 to South Hills Interfaith Movement, $1,500 to Daily Bread, $1,500 to food distribution in Nigeria and Zimbabwe, $3,000 to 8th Avenue Place, $575 to Christian Associates of Southwest Pennsylvania, $3,000 to Friends of King George the Sixth School for Students with Disabilities in Zimbabwe for water purification, and $2,800+ to UMCOR. So over the last quarter, in the midst of a pandemic, with all of your wonderful gifts to the church that are keeping us where we need to be financially, we also gave over $17,780 to missions just in the last quarter. So Christ Church, great job. That's what it means to live into what it means to be a follower of Christ. You know, it's so much more than just coming to church. It's so much more than just plugging into online worship. We got people now that are volunteering in online worship to be hosts. So as some of you are on Facebook now posting some things, we have other people that are on Sunday morning are posting and welcoming people that are part of the chat during worship on Sunday mornings, because it's kind of hard sometimes for pastors to preach live and be on Facebook, just like it's kind of hard for me to do this and watch the Facebook feed. So it's so nice to have so many people using their gifts in so many different ways. And I just thought it would be awesome, as we know we're coming up this weekend on All Saints weekend, where we're going to celebrate the lives of those that have gone home to be with the Lord this past year. What a great weekend to talk about the practice of celebration. And what better thing to celebrate than the work in the ministries of the church that are reaching so many people. I know so many churches that are struggling on a regular basis, and they can't figure out how to minister to others in their community and around the world. This church is doing unbelievable and amazing work in the midst of a pandemic. So sometimes it's okay to just say, well done. Now, that's not a reason to stop. We got all kinds of stuff coming up, from, like I said, the first responder meal to the 8th Avenue Thanksgiving meal to the Living Nativity to reach and share the love of Christ during the holiday season, to what we're going to do come Christmas Eve week. I'm not going to reveal that tonight, but I will let you know it involves more than just Christmas Eve night. So just be ready for what's coming as part of the celebration of Advent and the celebration of who Jesus is as he's the light of the world. John the Baptist came to prepare the way for the Messiah. We are here to continue the work of John the Baptist and prepare the way for people to meet the Messiah. And during Advent, there's no better way, because more and more people come back to church during that time. So it's our opportunity, pandemic or not, in person or not, online or not, to share the love of Christ with as many people as we can. And just a little bit of what I shared with you tonight, hopefully, gives you a look at how this church goes about doing that. So thank you for letting me be your pastor. Thank you to the wonderful staff that is here and the work that they do. I know sometimes they don't get the thanks they deserve. I know that as a congregation, you all don't get the thanks that you deserve. So I'm here tonight to just celebrate the work that you're doing, celebrate and say thank you for what you're doing, because it allows us to make a life-changing difference in so many people. Now, that being said, I'm also here to tell you we're not going to rest on our laurels. So great work, keep up the good work, but ask yourself how you can plug yourself in and get involved in one of the many different ministry areas at Christ Church over these upcoming weeks and months, so we can continue to share the love of Christ with everybody that we can come in contact with, and continue what John the Baptist started. As he prepared the way for the Messiah, we're preparing and clearing the way so they're ready to receive Jesus, who is ready to be received. So great job. Well done. Receive your pat on the back. Now roll up your sleeves and join me and our staff as we continue to do the work that God has called us to do. Let's just close in prayer. Lord, so many people and voices are pulling us in so many different directions. It's hard to imagine enjoying the kind of clarity John the Baptist had about his life. Teach us to be better attuned to your voice and lead us continually on your unique path that you have laid out for us as individuals and us as a church. We ask all this in your Son's name, and everyone said, amen. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you for those of you that are online. Don't forget to share it. Click share so your friends can watch it and be part of it as well. And have a great week, and we will see you on Friday morning as we continue our C3 with a devotional to get you ready for the weekend. And don't forget, sign up for in-person worship this weekend or join us online. And we hope to see you at Trunk or Treat and in worship and in all the different things going on that make a difference in so many people's lives. Have a great night, and God bless.